So hi guys, let's just talk about more in depth about the mating strategies, especially when it comes for a man. What's best for him? What strategies would be best for him in like today's generation? So we already talked about like the different strategies. There are just two strategies. It's like short term and long term. But talking about the short term mating strategies, where you want to like mate like the quantity like different girls like, so that's the reason I think you're watching this channel and you're watching this video right now, because you want to meet multiple girls like. So what are the things you need to be doing this is, first of all, I think you probably figured out for like short term dating strategy, there are certain blueprints that society has already figured out. Go to nightclubs, go to bars, have little fun, that kind of stuff. Yeah, dating apps, like be a bit direct on dating apps. So these are all the elements that are external, like it's more like superficial. What society does not talk about is like the internal aspects, such as what kind of mindset you should be having, what kind of inner game, what kind of traits you should be showing, what kind of personality you should be showing, so that you would be perceived as like quick mater where she wants to quickly just have your sperm into you. So there are broadly, like let's say there are aspects such as, if we talk about biology, you need to like have like toned body, at least have like proper body fat ratio. You need to be fit enough, you need to have like all this basic fitness going on. Then going deeper into this, you need to have the right kind of physiology. Don't need to be like coming off as someone who is just like friendly, social. That's obviously there, but you should be coming off as a man who is sexy man. Instead of, for example, like instead of smiling in a way which is like this, hi, my name is Prayan. You could be a bit more like, hi, my name is Prayan. That makes a subtle difference in how you would be perceived. If you just say, hi, my name is Prayan, it's like more friendly, versus, hi, my name is Prayan. So, what are you doing? Subtle difference. This comes with tonality. You need to have more depth. You need to be talking from like your diaphragm. Not be talking from your throat. You need to have like a deeper voice. Coming to the other aspects, say you need to develop some game which is like a way that girls don't like figure you out. It needs to keep her on edge, like a mystery. You need to like having that dynamic of like push pull. You need not like just be giving her constant vibe of, oh, I'm already there, whenever you want, I'm here for you, to take you out on a date, here to take you out or take you to bed. You need to be little playful, right? So apart from these, like the small minute details, like having deep eye contact and smiling. So why do I say all these things, right? Coming back to the lens of like a girl, where it's like literally true that first impression is your last impression. So when you first are in front of a girl and the girl sees you from her lens, she would either like put you in her head in a place, oh, what is this guy to me? What's the relationship? What's the first frame that would be established? So the first frame would either be that of a stranger to a friend. Is he a friend to me, or is he of some help to me in my career path? Or number two, is he a guy who I should be dating long term? 6 months, 1 year, we'll just go out and then maybe decide on it. Or maybe he's just an orbiter. I'll just keeping around just as an option, which is happening a lot in this era, by the way. So if you're thinking that, oh, I might have a chance right now to this one girl, you're just gonna, I'm just gonna get like, I'm just gonna get her. But just like days go by, months go by, and You think, what's happening? No, I'm chasing this girl since a month or 2 months or a year. Literally, I'm getting nowhere, but she's showing interest. That's what happening, no? Probably you're an hour fighter. You need to check. Then the last one, which we want, that you want to be in the right place, is the lover, the alpha or the short-term meter, where she sees you as the guy who she would receive pleasure from, she would receive the fun, she would receive the sperm from. And that's the ideal one you need to like come off as when you want to like have the dating game in your favor. You need to come off as the guy who she first wants to meet. Because see guys, literally after you have sex, all the aspects like hanging out, knowing her, what's knowing her, right? Guys say this, I want to know you better. Like literally they say this to girls, like I want to get to know you, something like that bullshit. How would you get to know her? Like, would you want to get to know her emotionally? Want to get to know her mentally? Do you want to get to know her physically? Do you want to get to know her spiritually? No? If you get to know her physically first, and then emotionally and mentally and emotionally, rest everything else will fall in place. I would say first get to know her emotionally and physically, that goes hand in hand, and later on everything else will fall in place. How you get to know her physically is by having the chemistry of intimacy. How is your intimacy with her? How do you get along in bed? So after that, probably you can vouch for the long-term thing, which I'm not going to cover much, which every man is already probably doing it subconsciously, or they're already good at from learning game from TV, social media, whatnot. I don't know. So because the fact is that traits also work. The reason those traits work is, if you see what girls are doing in this era, is they are hooking up with the alphas. They are hooking up with what do you mean by alphas? They're hooking up with the top 5 or 10% of the men. So basically, if the men is on 10 on 10 and she's like 8 on 10, but when a girl hooks up, she has access to the higher category of males, the top 5%. But when she wants to tame that guy, the top 5% men, these top 5% men, they already have options. So the guy won't be actually considering her as a long-term partner because he has 100 other girls as options. So it's very tough for her to tame this 5%, top 5% of the men. So who can she tame? Who can she have a bit control over for her security? The lower category men, not like the lowest one, obviously, somewhere around like the top 40% or 50%, around that category, where he's like an average guy. So basically, it's a saying, women date hotter, marry like a dumber, not a dumber. So there's literally a saying, women date hotter, but when it comes to marriage, women marry down. They marry a guy who is a less, and the saying goes in even the girl gangs, they say, you're marrying this guy, but he is not as hot as you hooked up with when you were young. Obviously, at her peak sexual value, she could have access with the 5% man, top 5%. So let's come back to how you want to be perceived as for a short-term data. So let me just also talk about the energy aspect. Your energy not only needs to be adventurous, chaotic, but it also from the inside needs some grounding. The reason you need that is grounding energy represents masculinity, the chaotic energy represents feminine energy. So for the short-term strategy, you need to initially come off from the outside as a guy who is flirty, fun, no, that kind of a guy. But inside you need that masculine polarity as well, that stillness and that groundedness. So she also feels safe when she wants to actually, hook up with you. So these are the broad aspects. I just have covered it in short in this video, but hope you get a gist of the message that I am trying to convey to you. And yeah, that's it, guys. So thank you.